Chapter 1 Badlaw's Ship. 5 figures appeared on the teleport deck of Badlaw's ship, the destroyer. They stood for a moment, their minds full of darkness. Max, Cat, Ant, Tiger, and Knock gazed around at their familiar surroundings. The light from the teleport gave the room a sinister yellow and green glow. Only seconds earlier, they had been on planet X's. They had tried to reform the core of X's. It hadn't worked. There was still one fragment missing. Only the king and queen of X's, Knock's parents, knew where the missing fragment was, but they were being held prisoner on the destroyer. Back on planet X's, the last thing the children had seen was their friend Seven being hit by an energy ball. Cruel 1, the commander of Badlaw's army, had blasted him out of the teleport beam. Seven hadn't made it onto the destroyer. "We must go back down to X's," cried Knock. "Seven needs help." "We can't go back now, Knock," Max said gently. "Badlaw is still down there." "He could teleport here at any second," added Cat. Tiger was already pulling some wires out from under the control panel. "I've disconnected the teleporter. That should stop Badlaw for a while. The only problem is that we can't teleport off the ship now either." "We'll find a way when the time comes," said Max. He knew he had to be brave, even though his stomach was gurgling like the pipes around him. "First, we need to find the king and queen. They can tell us where the 5th fragment is. Then, we can defeat Badlaw for good." Chapter 2 A Narrow Escape. Ant was studying the control panel. "If I could access the ship's computer, I might be able to find out where the king and queen are. I can't do it from here though," he said. "I think we need to get to the bridge." "Okay," said Max. "Let's head there then." Tiger was about to reach out the door controls when he heard a rumbling sound in the corridor outside. His watch started flashing a red warning signal. "Crows," he whispered. "Hide!" They backed quickly into the shadows just as the door hissed open. A lone hunter crow rolled in. Its green metal body uncurled, then it began scanning the room. Cat held her breath and squeezed herself under the control panel as the crow's scanner swept by. For a terrible moment, the scanner stopped in front of the panel. Then the crow spun around sharply and began scanning the other side of the room. Suddenly, Tiger was revealed in the scanner's glare. "Intruder alert!" screeched the crow. "Assistance needed!" A deafening alarm went off. "Whoop! Whoop!" Tiger darted towards the doorway. The crow raised its arm ready to fire an energy ball when— "Over here, crow!" Max called quickly. The crow turned and Tiger sped out of the room. The crow was now heading straight for Max. "Up there!" shouted Knock, pointing to a metal grill on the wall. Max understood immediately. He pressed a button on his watch and shrank to micro size. Then he released the wings on his suit and flew up to the grill. Knock and Ant followed Max, and all 3 squeezed through the grill just in time to avoid the crow's energy ball. "Phew!" said Max. Across the room, he saw Cat run out of the door after Tiger. Chapter 3 The Bridge. Max peered down a long tunnel. "We must be in a service duct," said Knock. "We have them on the Excelsa." The Excelsa was Knock's microship. "The ducts run all over the ship. Do you think we can reach a bridge from here using the ducts?" asked Max. "I think so," said Knock. Max, Ant, and Knock made their way along the service duct, heading for the bridge. The sound of the alarm became more distant. Every so often they heard a patrol of crows rumble along the corridors beneath them. After what seemed a long walk, Max signaled for others to stop. Just in front of them was another metal grill. Light shone through it into the service duct. They edged forwards and peered down. "Wow! It's the bridge," whispered Ant. The bridge was lit by eerie green lights. A sharp acid smell drifted from the pipes that wound around the walls. Computers hummed and screens flickered. In the middle of the room was a central station where Badlaw normally sat. Right now it was empty, and there were no crows in sight. "The coast looks clear," Knock said. "Let's get down there then," said Max. The 3 friends climbed down the grill, released their wings, and flew down. Chapter 4 Cruel Attack. As Ant reached the central station, he looked at one of the computer screens. It showed Cat and Tiger desperately running away from a patrol of crows. "What can we do, Max?" he said. Max's stomach twisted. "Cat and Tiger are smart. I'm sure they'll be okay. We need to focus on finding the king and queen." The three friends landed on the main computer panel. "Quickly!" Ant set to work. "Look!" he exclaimed. "A map of the ship!" He took a photo of it with his watch. Then he pointed to the middle deck. "It looks like they are prison cells. I bet that's where your parents are, Knock." Knock felt a little bumble of hope. "Let's go," said Max. Determined, he stepped to one side, but as he did so, he knocked over a lever, which slid backwards. Suddenly, there was a shrill bleep. At once, the door slid open, and a cruel guard rolled in. It uncurled, ready to attack. "Intruders! All crows to the bridge!" "Fly!" cried Max. As the crow moved towards them, the boys and Knock took off and made for the ducks again. The crow detected their movement and hurled an energy ball at the three friends. Knock grabbed Ant and pulled him in the duct, and his energy ball exploded next to him. Chapter 5. River of Goo. Max, Ant, and Knock started running down the tunnel. All of a sudden, another energy ball blasted the metal wall of the duct behind them. The explosion shattered one of the pipes. A bright citrus yellow goo splurted out of the pipe and started gushing towards them. "Faster!" yelled Knock. They ran on. "This way," said Ant, looking at the map on his watch. Ant turned sharp right when the tunnel split in two. Max and Knock shot around the corner after him, just as the river of goo washed past. Ant pointed to another metal grill. "Over there," he said, breathing hard. Max, Ant, and Knock climbed down through the grill. They came out into a corridor lined with doors. Ant checked the map on his watch. "We're in the prison block," he said. Knock called out, "Mom! Dad!" His tiny voice echoed off the metal walls. Just then, a crow rolled into view, blocking the end of the corridor. Another one appeared behind it. "What now?" whispered Ant. They heard a noise behind them. They turned round to see a strange green rat-like creature wearing silver armor. It waved its paw. It seemed to be beckoning them. They looked at each other nervously. Should they follow the cat? Could they trust it?